On December the 8th, they play out of the Southern Conference NCAA tournament last year for Samford, their finest year ever in program history. It had been 2+ decades since they had even been to the dance. Meantime, for the Cats, the expectation is go and play deep every single year. Tommy Lloyd, their head coach, dominating at home to start his regime here. And maybe that's how you start it. The All-American Caleb Love with the triple.
No hesitation, wide open look for Caleb Love. Wildcat fans happy to see that shot fall.
Right back the other way, there is an answer. Jaden Brownwell from Sandy, Utah. Early in his stages was at University of Illinois, Chicago.
Stretch 4 player that can shoot from the perimeter. Arizona's going to have to get used to guarding that.
Press, 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 by the way. Samford the entire night, correct?
You gotta mentally adjust to being picked up 94 feet the entire game. That's what they love to do.
They run, they give up points, they score points despite that press. Tove Awaka fights for an offensive rebound, and the big fellow will go to the line. We talked about the success of Tommy Lloyd since taking over this program. It has been a ton of wins, 50-4 at home over the last 3+ seasons under head coach Tommy Lloyd. They're hoping there's a silver lining behind this cloudy start.
Well, there always is. It's just, you know, the fan base is always impatient, as at most top-level schools. When you have a schedule that Arizona's played, you want those results, and you want them right away. Arizona not winning some of these games that they've played early, but everything's still ahead of this Wildcat club.
Awaka drops the second one in, just about 55% from the line. He'd love to improve upon that. 8 points, 8 rebounds a game for the Tennessee transfer, Tove Awaka. He is a force underneath. They launch it a ton. Defensive rebounds to specialty. Bradley all the way home. Jaden hammers it.
Those three-point shots are going to create those long rebounds. Arizona not hesitating to turn that into a quick bucket.
Arizona rebounds like it's nobody's business despite the slow start. They hang right there. There's a turnover. Beautiful spot in the middle of the paint, Anthony Del Orso. Good to see it. Defensive pitch in from Del Orso. He's known certainly for his offense, as we were saying, as he's off the mark.
There you see the long rebound, the heads-up play. Jaden Bradley running the court. He's been that lone offensive spark for the Wildcats. His athleticism, ball screens, getting downhill, creating offense for Arizona. That was an easy 2 for him.
He's a great defender, too. Leads the team in win shares. If you're looking at advanced metrics, his play alone has been worth about 1.5 wins. That's saying something when your team only has 4 wins. Offensive rebound machine. Bradley lines it up, and there's a lid on the bucket that time. Rylan Jones shares the basketball. Trey Fort, the Florence, Mississippi native, drains it.
And that's tough. That's a 5-second possession. Ball comes over half court. 1 pass and a 3 ball from Samford.
How do you beat the press?
You just got to play solid, make sure you've got good communication and good vision. And there's that great court sense dribble with your head up. Find your teammate.
Keep moving, right? You always have to keep moving if you're awaiting the basketball, and if you're controlling the basketball, you've got to, as you said, never put that head down. Vision and movement, that's how you beat the press, and they did it that time a moment ago. Wildcats basketball. When you're trying to put it all together, this is not a team you want to play, this pesky Samford team, but that worked. And it worked again. Long distance commitment that time.
A lot of risk versus reward. Samford willing to put on the full court press, but they're going to give up stuff on the back end. Arizona very aggressive to start.
They scored a bunch, but they will give it up. They'll run with you just a little bit. There's a triple. That's Isaiah West. Vanderbilt transfer.
Despite these Arizona buckets, we're looking at a 1-point game because of the 3 ball. Samford hanging around early.
A little Loyola Marymount back in the 80s and 90s basketball.
You're making us sound old.
Well, I am. You are not, certainly. Here's another press break.
So the tendency is to get the ball in and work it down court, but right there, the full court pass, Toby Awaka wide open. Wonder about this tempo, who this benefits early. Arizona not used to being picked up full court all game long.
The Australian Del Arso comes up short as he shoots 81% from the line this year. It's interesting talking to Tommy Lloyd. He regretted that he only found 14 minutes for him against UCLA. He had 21 against Davidson, 19 against Southern Utah.
Well, it's all about matchups. You know, every coach knows what he has in each player, especially by this time of the year. So you want to put your guys in opportunities where they're going to excel, and defensively is what's important. Are there matchups that favor you defensively before you put a kid out there? And there's some tough games that Arizona had to play, so minutes are hard to find at the guard spot, and it'll continue to be difficult as you get into Big 12 play.
Passes the baton. You saw KJ Lewis come on. Lewis averaging 10 points, 5 boards, a couple of assists a game. And a defensive upgrade as well.
And KJ Lewis shows you right away why any time is a good time to put him in the game. Defensively, he's a great matchup for Arizona. He can guard a 1 through a 3, even some 4 players. So you never have to worry about finding minutes for a guy like KJ Lewis.
He's a funny stat sheet filler, too, when you talk about Lewis. He had 15, 8 boards, 5 assists against Southern Utah. Had a 10 rebound game against Davidson. Kind of a lunch pail player.
Yeah, he's a flat out do it all type of guy. And that's why it's good that he comes off the bench. If you need him at the 2, 3, or 4, he can fill in.
Well, they press every single time that they go the other way, the Cats. Samford putting the pressure on. 11-9 to start things. A pair of points are up right at about the 15-minute mark.
Arizona with a mismatch on Townsend if they can try to get the ball inside. Great back door.
And a chance at a 3-point play. Caleb Love receiving a beautiful bounce pass.
And right now, Caleb Love, nations and guys got to learn each other quickly for the chemistry to take place. And you're seeing a lot of teams across the country. Here we are in December, still trying to put things together.
It's interesting as Love turns it into a 3-point opportunity. Love with 6 points on the game. When you take a look at Arizona, despite their 4 and 5 starts, and you take a look at where they stand in the net, they're actually inside the top 50. They stand ahead of their rivals in the state of Arizona, ASU, who has a far superior record. So a tough schedule has been a big part of it for Tommy Lloyd. Some bad luck along the way. A nice defensive stand that time. Henry Vesar has found his way in. That one's turned over. The big fella, number 13 on that jersey out of Estonia. We also see Carter Bryant, who had started 3 consecutive games. He's an interesting player, number 9 on that white jersey. Plays so long. There's a shot at Bryant. It's interesting, Corey. He's 6'8", but he plays like a guy who's about 6'11" with that wingspan.
Yeah, you're talking about a very gifted player with an unusual skill set for his size. He is going to be an absolute star right now, getting used to the speed of the collegiate game. But when you look at the things that he can do, you know immediately that all he needs is experience, and he's going to continue to blossom.
One extra pass opened up the triple attempt for Lucas Wall. The Tennessee native comes up empty. Caleb, step back. That one's short. Scrap for the basketball underneath. Included in that mix was Carter Bryant. Division I play started for Samford in 1972. Last year to the tournament. Dropped a scare on Kansas. They were close the entire game, losing by only 4 in the opening round. And a season like that, and then play into the tournament, those are foundational years for a mid-major like Samford.
Yeah, and they lost the majority of that roster after what could have been one of the greatest upsets in tournament history.
Yes.
They had everyone biting their nails in that game, but a great job by Coach Bucky McMillan to turn around this year and assemble a good crew, and they're off to a great start at 9-2. Same culture, same philosophy.
No travel there. The feet got busy for Allensbach, the Charlotte, North Carolina native. But it always ends in a 3 when they're hot. That's Burger Boy, they call him. Julian Brown, his nickname, is Burger Boy. Middleton, New York, transferred from Wagner, where he put up some pretty big points at Wagner as well.
There's the deflection out of the press. We'll see if it leads to a bucket.
At that time, as Love will grab the defensive rebound, Colin Holloway, who averages 11 points a game. Oh, they shoot from 3 all the time. 7 of their 10 field goal attempts tonight have been from distance. But Corey, they're right there, down a pair. Martinez, the Spaniard, seeing some playing time. More of that this year as a whistle into the corner.
You know, watching them this morning at shoot-around, they shoot threes collectively as a team. And right here, you're going to see Caleb Love get rewarded and go to the line. Ticky-tack foul. They got him right there on the elbow, so he's going to shoot 3 free throws. But Samford shoots threes as a team, and they shoot consecutive. So each player, you shoot once and you go back to the end of the line. So when the coach wants 5 in a row, you don't shoot 5 times. You shoot once. The team has to get hot and make 5 in a row. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So they get hot collectively as a team. And it's a psyche that they carry. So you'll see guys launch shots without hesitation because they all can shoot it.
Love going to the free throw line this year about half as much. He'd love to have that changed. This is not the situation I think I'm talking about. Maybe a little bit more penetration, draw a few more fouls. But half the trips to the line, they need to add to that total.
Yeah, I mean, most coaches are going to send a second defender at Caleb Love. They're going to run him off the three-point line. He's got to find ways to create points.
Well, they kick, they penetrate and kick, and that's what it opens up for Samford. Holloway this time drops it in.
Samford absolutely on fire from beyond the arc. You've got to know they want that three-point shot, so you can't overreact to the penetration.
Elevation! Wow, Bryant, the freshman.
Carter Bryant with the disrespectful dunk.
Come on, Corey Williams. Goodness gracious. I mean, up to the sky. Lewis penetrates, he'll go to the line.
You know, we talked about his skill set. This is just Carter Bryant trying to go viral on somebody, just putting him in the rim. He's not supposed to be able to do that. He took off from behind the arc, just sent it home, and you talk about special gifts. That's one of those plays, you can't coach that. That's just take off, make a decision in the air, unbelievable athleticism.
K.J. Lewis, the versatile Swiss Army knife at the line. He's averaging 10, 5 rebounds, a couple of assists. He's an 82% free throw shooter. Grew up in Tucson, moved at about 3 years old after spending a little bit of time here with Dad at El Paso, Texas. His dad, Kenyan. His mom, Monica Ramirez. Spent quite a bit of time with Dad as a much younger man here. Skeet Elementary School in Vail, Arizona. He only dreamt, he drew pictures as a young man of being a Cat. Lewis.
Arizona definitely glad to have K.J. Lewis.
That's always such a fun story for me.
I was talking to him and he said he was from Tucson. I was like, why'd you ever leave?
Those darn things, parents, jobs, all those things that adults do. 2015, Cats are hanging in there. 5 of 8 from distance for Samford. This one in the paint. Asar tries to put a handle on it, and he does. Streaking out front all the way high up the glass. A wonderful follow. There was Bryant again.
Carter Bryant staying active on the putback. Arizona taking advantage. Catching Samford in transition.
TJ McConnell's going to join us, by the way, the Indiana Pacers star, going into the Ring of Honor before the game. We'll share that with you at halftime, that ceremony. And when we come back, a chance to get to know a Cat great on his very special
Arizona and the love that they've showed me. It was a really special moment.
TJ, you know, Steve Kerr, Damon Stoudemire, Jason Terry, Bibby, and now TJ McConnell. Talk about point guard you. What does it mean with your name among those guys forever. What does that mean to you?
It's like a badge of honor, really. You know, when I came here, they were talking about point guard U, and I just wanted to live up to their name and their legacy and make them proud, and that's what I tried to do on a nightly basis.
Now, we're talking about point guard U, and all those guys suited up here, and you did as well, but there's something a little different about you. You became a fan favorite. Now, when we talk about fan favorites, there's only 2 or 3 in the history of U of A. How did you become a fan favorite?
Honestly, you know, I just tried to give it my all every game. I feel like people really appreciate that, and just tried to go out there and, you know, give this place some energy, because this is a really tough place to play for, you know, the opposing team. So just trying to go in there and create a spark and just be myself.
You know what I think's cool, and we're going to stay very much with your time in Arizona, but I think the outsider, the casual fan, TJ, wouldn't understand that an entire NBA team would get on a bus, or maybe you guys flew, I don't know how you got down here, but come down here, support you. You guys are going to be up in Phoenix. What does that mean to have your entire NBA team right there? I thought that was a very cool move by the Pacers. Yeah,
I think it speaks volumes about the organization that I play for and the teammates that I have. We've got great human beings, and for them to all come down here and support me, like I said, I can't put it into words how much it means. So I make a mistake if I don't let you just share one of your favorite memories or stories, story time. You know, they can see the game, so don't feel bad, and we'll interrupt you if you need to, but give me a favorite anecdote, please. Honestly, you know, I've thought about this a while when I knew I was coming back. I think my favorite part, obviously, was playing every game in here, but kissing the A my senior year was a special moment for me, just to show appreciation to this university and these fans. So I wanted to kind of recreate that moment tonight, because it meant a lot to me. Yeah, we did that tonight, right? Yep. Very cool. Yeah. So like I said, I've got a lot of love for this place, and just a lot of pride about playing for this program, and it's the least I can do to show love to this place.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot, because everybody that played here, especially all the point guards, they all played along NBA guys that they needed to take care of. But they are also kind of pain in the neck. Who was the guy that you had to hook up? Who was the guy that always cried for the rock when you played with him? You can tell the truth now. You're out of school. Who did you have to look after?
No, we had a great group of guys. You know, because me and him were so close, Stanley Johnson wanted the ball a lot, and you know, for us to win, it was smart for us to get him the ball. So he was on to something with that.
Fair enough, fair enough. And you played, obviously, Coach Miller won a ton of games, conference championships, good runs in the tournament. But for the fans standing outside, we knew Sean Miller was intense, but you showed up every day for Coach Miller. What was that experience like, being a player, playing for him those years?
Yeah, I mean, my relationship with him is like family. And like I said, coming to this place changed my life, and he's the reason why. He empowered me to do what I do well, and treated me like one of his own kids. So that relationship, like I said, is like family, and it still is to this day. When I have someone like you sitting next to me and we have a bunch of young fans watching, I'm 15 or 16. I need some advice. You've played in the NBA. You've gone through college. What advice would you have for a 14, 15, 16-year-old baller who wants to be you? I would just tell them, put your head down and go to work, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't accomplish something. You can do anything you set your mind to. I feel like I'm living proof of that. You know, I've been told I'm not good enough at every level I've played at, especially the NBA. And you know, if you put in the work, you can do anything you set your mind to. So you're going to have doubters in whatever you do in life, but you just got to ignore it. It seems like you always did the littlest things well. Is that still an important part of your journey? Yeah, and I mean, I feel like for guys that aren't, you know, 20-point-per-game scorers, because I wasn't post-high school, and I knew that I had to stand out somehow and do things that, you know, doesn't necessarily show up on a stat sheet, but it amounts to winning.
Now, you're in the NBA. There's some downtime, a lot of travel, but you're a U of A alum. how much trash talk goes on during March Madness, or how much you guys regime. Sean Miller, just a great player. Watched him develop, and then getting his opportunity in the NBA. A lot of people didn't expect much, but here he is, a solid NBA point guard, having a great career. You see his teammates showing up and showing out for him, just having an outstanding career. So happy to see it.
And he'll go to the line. Love, they are, tonight so far anyway, really torching the press from Samford.
Right now, Arizona's feasting in the paint. They are attacking this pressure. You're seeing them get down the court, and they're not just settling for jumpers. This is the second or third and one where Arizona's attacked the rim, which is a new trait for Caleb Love. Abandoning the three-point shot and attacking the rim.
This is the free throw. Again, we talked about Love shoots 92%. Had only been to the line 12 times all year long, 12 total times on the season. Half as many times as far as rates go as last year. Well, he's been to the line already tonight 5 times. Nearly half as many times in the whole year. They just need a little bit more from him. Now, breaking the press has presented a ton of opportunities as Del Orso goes downhill and has it swatted away. Trey Ford takes it home for Samford.
Little bounce right there.
Mississippi State transfer averaging 14 points, 4 boards a game for Trey. Ford out of Florence, Mississippi. No look, Del Orso into the corner, and it rings in and out. Anthony tonight 0 for 4 from the floor, just 1 point in 9 minutes of work. Love leads all scorers with 10. Take a look at this Big 12. Iowa State off to a 9-1 start, number 5 in the net. Arizona, it's interesting, at the bottom of the conference right now, out of conference with a struggling number to say the least at 4-5, but they're still inside the top 50, 49 in the net. Teams like TCU at 90, Kansas State at 109.
Well, it's one of those situations. What do you believe? Some people are like, oh, you are what your record says you are. And then there's some people like, well, look who you played. Arizona hasn't ducked anybody. They just have not been on the winning side of some of these games. So the trick is to continue to show up and fight, knowing that everything is still in front of this team. And they're a team that can challenge for the Big 12 title.
Pretty teardrop there in the lane. Little runner from Henry.
No hesitation. They're going to want big things out of him. Not knowing when Krivas will be back, he has to step up offensively for Arizona.
Yeah, Krivas not in this contest tonight, out indefinitely. Lower leg injury. Caleb Love again will go to the line. It's almost a different player attacking the rim tonight.
Points are points, and that's what you have to understand. And there you see Krivas sidelined right now with a lower extremity injury. Doctor's going to be checking on him, and we'll get word at what time he'll be back. Right now, just kind of listed as indefinite.
Interesting thing that Tommy Lloyd said before the game. You were talking about the culture that Samford has created, right, after what they did last year. Lloyd said this exact sentence when speaking to us. Right now, I'm focusing on culture. What did he mean by that?
Well, right now, you've got to understand the level of expectation. I think everything revolves around culture and psyche. What do we expect to do? We expect to challenge for the Big 12 title. We expect to be there in March. We expect to be a high-seeded team in the tournament. We expect to make a deep run. All that is still in front of this Arizona team. Nobody can let go of the rope just because a couple of games didn't go our way. The season is nowhere near being over. There is so much basketball yet to be played. Culture of expectations, the culture of showing up every day, taking care of details. That's what every coach in the country is fighting for in December. Yes, we've played 9 or 10 games, but that's nothing in the grand scheme of things. And for Arizona, you don't want guys to start to let go of the rope. You've got to show up. There are still big games to be played. Nobody's played anything in conference, so guys got to stay focused.
Overtime loss to West Virginia could have gone either way. Certainly a 10-0 run in the second half against UCLA, but in the end, it wasn't enough. There are a couple of might-have-beens, but you don't go to the tournament on might-have-beens. They want to start winning, and that culture a big part of it. A wonderful challenge for a coach who has really blown the doors off in his entree into Division I in Tommy Lloyd. This time it's from distance, and it drops right in.
And that's a different Caleb Love. You don't look for the three, but when it presents itself, you take it in transition. Arizona on fire right now. It's, 100 miles down the road. Hey, let's all pile in and go support our guy. That's love. That's a tribute to the type of person TJ McConnell is. And hey, what's better than a night in Tucson? You know what I mean? Go down there, support your guy.
Understood. I don't know. Here's the thing. You travel a lot, right? I don't know if they private it into Tucson and then maybe they'll take the plane up the 10, or if they private it in and they got a pretty bus going up. I don't know how it happened. Do you have the behind the scenes?
It's probably a Sprinter van.
Okay.
I'm sure it's a Sprinter. You know, snacks, drinks, bottled water. TJ probably sprung for it. Hors d'oeuvres, the NBA style. PlayStation, probably a fish tank in there. How they do that.
Fish tank. I don't know if I've ever gone for a ride in a Sprinter with a fish tank.
Ask TJ, he'll hook you up.
He's here with his lovely wife and his parents here tonight too, as a chance to go to the line. A foul that time hung on Carter Bryant. You were talking about Bryant, the on-the-job training and trying to find his way.
TJ said it's a $100 bet when the alums hook up. That's awesome. A lot of trash talk at the NBA next level.
That doesn't surprise you, though, does it?
No, not at all. Those guys are bored. They gamble on everything.
I got some details, by the way. Would you like to hear them?
I figured you'd get to the bottom of the story. What do you got?
The plane brought the team here. Literally, they made the move from, I didn't check their schedule, wherever they were. Their first stop in this great state is that one rattles home, and it's a triple from Julian Brown, the New Yorker. Played at Bergen Catholic in Jersey. Anyway, plane comes here, then plane goes back, wheels up, lands in Phoenix. That's a short little flight. Guys get ready, and TJ is riding in that Sprinter with his group, his family, his wife. And the fish tank, by the way. The fish tank. Love having a night. That one's short. Love with the miss that time. By the way, we remind you, he's got 15 points, 4 of 6 from the floor. .444, 39-24, Cats on top. Arizona shooting 57% from the floor. A lot has been made when a team is not winning like they're supposed to. They're not shooting well at all, Arizona, from distance. And so folks will point out their numbers from distance. Del Orso fights for a defensive rebound. And he is Sen, which draws a whistle. Holloway and Walls all around him.
Well, you see right there. You see right there Arizona huddling up on every dead ball. And that's the secret to basketball. You got to huddle up. When times get tough, you got to get your crew together. And especially when you're 4 and 5, you got to huddle up. Team leadership. You don't let the finger pointing start to take place. You don't let the blame start to seep into your team. You don't listen to people outside of the team. And that's the key to having success in the long term. That's what any team leader does. That's what the coaching staff is trying to do. Keep these guys huddled up, focused on winning games every night, and you'll be just fine.
Quite a budget goes into hiring a level head coach like Tommy Lloyd and paying for a staff, but this is when they earn their money right now. I understand if they're 9-0, you could say, hey, they're really earning their money. This, to me, at 4 and 5 is where they'll earn their money.
Yeah, it's the toughest part of the job because it's so easy for people to look at scores and wins and losses. And then, these are young people and they're sensitive and they want to win. They're trying to win. And when you don't win, sometimes you drop your head. Sometimes it's easy to lose focus. But your job is to keep their chins up, keep them focused. And against a tough team like this that loves to play up tempo, they love to jack threes, it's easy to come out and not be focused. But Arizona, sharp, playing good defense, being in attack mode, up 17 here in the first half. That's a tribute to them staying focused and coming out and playing aggressive.
Inside to outside, and they keep shooting from 3, does Julian Brown. Suddenly he's becoming a story. Brown drops in a triple. He has got 6 points. And you can add to that tally, take it to 9 with that 3. Love all the way to the bucket. Beautiful reverse lay-in.
Credit Visar with this 2 points. Beautiful seal by the big man. Caleb Love for a great line. That's a great line for a game. And we still got 3:49 to go in the first. Very active, very aggressive. Caleb Love finding life against Samford here in the first half.
He's got 18 points in 15 minutes of work in this game. 8 points lead all scores. Townsend's got 6. Awaka's got 5, but it's Caleb carrying his team tonight. Kobe's back in, working defensively now. Number 30 in that Arizona jersey. Samford 40%. Turns that one over. Del Orso, 1 on 3. I'm sorry. He took advantage of a disadvantage.
Live ball turnovers absolutely killing Samford here in the first half. Arizona in transition. Great penetration and dime right there.
Sharing it with Riley Allenspach out of Charlotte, North Carolina, 4-star prospect coming out of Providence Day School, averaging 10 this year.
Right now for Samford, they got 29 points, but 21 of them from beyond the arc. If it hasn't been the 3 ball, it really hasn't been much of anything for them.
Love set that one up along the baseline. Bradley took advantage with the triple. Jaden Bradley's got 7 points, his first 3 of the contest. He's also got 3 assists. Love with 3 dimes. Allenspach and another rebound from Tobe Awaka out of Hyde Park, New Jersey. Into Cardinal Hayes in the Bronx. And Townsend, the transfer from Oxford, Michigan, cleaned it up that time. What a career Trey Townsend had. 1,800 points in 4 years at Oakland University.
Lucky bounce right there. Trey gets it back, goes right back to the rim for the easy 2.
Holloway sits. (51-29). At around the 2-minute mark. Corey Williams, Darren Sutton, glad to have you with us tonight from Tucson. Some new players on. Wilburn clocks in for Samford. How did Love hold on to that basketball?
Samford passed on some wide open threes.
Like that one.
Del Orso says, I'm not passing on anything. And he drills a triple, forcing the timeout.
Suddenly Del Orso's a rolling. He was Hall of Fame caliber career as a baseball player in the major leagues. You know me, I never mind a baseball mention.
I know, you're a baseball guy.
I'll never mind a mention on occasion.
Figure out a way to get it in there.
Talking about the Loft Town, that one's easy. No chance to go to the line that time. Wilburn got active.
First time I met Kenny Lofton, I was a freshman on campus here. He's driving through in a 600 Benz. Just got to the major leagues. I'm like, who is this guy? Taking all the attention away from us. He was a millionaire. Great guy, great guy.
This is Zion Wilburn, by the way, going to the line. He was 7 of 8 all year. Limited playing time. He was seeing some playing time early in this game. Plays about 8 minutes a game. Interesting thing about the Cats, still really aren't leaning on the 3-point bucket to help them out. They're 4 of 11 from distance. This year, that's pointed out as an Achilles. They're 323rd in the nation from long distance. They scored important always tonight, though. That kind of erases a struggling part of the game. That one comes up short. Knocked out of bounds. They got it off the hands of Love, who doesn't particularly care for the call.
Caleb may have had a point, but I've never seen anyone win an argument with an official.
You haven't?
No, never. Never seen a call overturned.
One man who really has been somewhat quiet has the ball now in his hands. It's Jones. Pretty big time score at Utah and Utah State. No points tonight for Ryland Jones. That's somewhat of a surprise. Shot clock down to 3. Not ideal, but ooh, that hurts. Trey Ford with the 3.
That was
wow,
filthy.
That was an awful look. Ford didn't care. Mississippi State transfer. And Arizona with a quick call of timeout. Ford with 8 points. He leads all scorers for Samford.
Shot clock winding down now. They could be sending you home.
Bucky McMillan in his 5th season. Last year 29-6. The year before that 21-11. First year 6-13, and then they just start winning 20+.
Great gamesmanship out of the timeout. Samford goes to their zone, but it doesn't matter.
Besar follows his miss. This is what the Cats were looking for. This kind of statement after starting the season 4-5, who he lost back in 2021. He wears his grandfather right there on his sleeve, in his heart, every time he takes the hardwood. Caleb Love having a special night tonight. That's the one man as he penetrates, shares the basketball. Ryland Jones, we did not hear from in the first half. And there's an assist from Ryland Jones as he gets to Jaden Brownwell. A couple of Utah men working together that time.
Solid start to the first half for Samford. They get it inside, the spin move, and Awaka just a little too close, gets a piece of him with the body. And if you're Samford, this is what you want, a chance to cut into this lead and set that defense.
Brownwell's had some big moments this year. The UIC, Illinois-Chicago transfer, shooting almost 70% from 2. So up close, he makes just about all of them and averaging 15 points a game. He's got 8 in this one, Brownwell. Finally, something in the stat line for Ryland Jones, who's really an incredible ball player, averaging 6 assists per game. Wildcat turnover. Just 5 turnovers, 6 for Samford. Up with it quickly. Boy, they don't mess around, do they?
And they shouldn't. You know, it's a 20-point game, but you got a turnover. And you know, the 3 ball, that's their weapon. Why shy away from it?
Follow the yellow brick road, because it was clean for Jaden Bradley all the way home with a pair.
You know, with Jaden Bradley out there, Caleb Love and Del Orso are shooters. You got to stay home, so Bradley's going to get that layup every time he comes downhill with the ball.
There are the first points for Ryland Jones, who in his career has scored more than 1,000 points out of Logan, Utah.
As you can tell, he spent the first half setting everybody else up. Now he's going to start to call his own number here in the second half.
Well, he needs to. It was interesting. Jones began his college career, his 2nd game of his college career. He had a triple-double. 4th ever in Utah history. He was playing for the Utes at that point. Awaka, that's a mismatch if I've ever seen one. Tobe with the pair.
32 points in the paint for Arizona. They're playing smart basketball. No sense in making it complicated. Great pick and roll.
And we're seeing now a little bit more work from Jones and Brownwell. That was Brownwell on the other side. Brownwell had a 24+8 rebound game against Northern Alabama earlier with a win. In 60 games at UIC. And in that Horizon League, good mid-major conference in the middle of the United States. Nice redirection, defensive stand that time. Holloway stepped up. Kind of a sluggish start for the Cats. Samford on the other side, not sluggish at all. Coming out swinging. Holloway with 3 out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Arizona tries to work their high-low for their 4-5. Samford comes down and works their 4-5 for their three-point shot. Total difference in how the bigs are being used by both teams.
Colin Holloway is now 41 points away from 1,000 his career after that three-point basket. Wildcats hold on to the basketball.
We talked about this at the beginning of the game. Arizona having to adjust to guarding power forwards that can shoot the three. Prime example of it on that last possession.
Tommy Lloyd, National Coach of the Year, his first year as a Division I coach. Back in 21-22, team that went 33-4. Going in conference once known as the Pac-12. Now they watch their Big 12 foes as they get ready to open the Big 12 season. The one thing they saw tonight was that Houston comfortably beat Toledo, but Oklahoma State had their hands full with Tarleton State, a 5-point win in Stillwater. So the Big 12 2-0 tonight thus far. You start talking about what Arizona's in for in the Big 12. First of all, it's a deep conference team-wise. You're looking at 16 teams. Just a physical conference, very different than the Pac.
Yeah, I mean, every game will be like those games. They've already played Oklahoma. They've already played West Virginia. The UCLA game will be very similar to what they're going to see in the Big 12, especially on the road. Physical teams, they're going to come 8-9 deep. And good stop right there for Samford. This was a 23-point game at half, and now Fisher's going to whistle a blocking foul. 16-point game, Samford with the ball. They're going to say Townsend was not set, didn't get that foot down. Good call there by the official. Townsend moving over to position, still moving that leg. Yeah, it's a good call.
Had the appearance. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like anything.
The Grinch doesn't agree.
Sliding that foot. You could see just the slightest slide of that foot, that right foot from the veteran Townsend. Samford 3 of their last 3 from the floor. 60-44 is the number.
I don't want to say it's a big possession, but like you said, 23-point lead, cut down to 16. Samford with the ball. A little crafty off the back play here.
There's wisdom and there's experience. Again, the Utah men working together. Jones, 2 men on him. He knew someone else was open.
Got him. And now they extend the pressure.
It's a 7-0 Samford run. Crowd gets behind.
When you've got that 3 ball, the question is, can you defend and rebound? You've always got a puncher's chance because you can shoot the 3. Arizona having success in the paint. They want to continue to deal the body blows.
Back up top to Love. Couple of quick touch passes. Love comes up short. Townsend got to work, drew the foul. Vasar underneath.
And right now, the holiday season.
McMillan, very Birmingham of him because he played at Birmingham Southern, a school, unfortunately, that had to close its doors this past spring. As that one rolls right over the top. 3-point attempt and a miss from Jaden Bradley. But McMillan jumps into this job after a dozen years as a high school coach in Birmingham at Mountain Brook High School.
But he's only ever been a head coach. Hasn't spent time as an assistant, and the collective gasp while that ball was in the air. Samford down just 14. Back door wide open. Blew the layup.
He did.
2 wide open looks as they're trying to cut into this lead. 2 great looks, and they come up empty.
Brown's mad at himself. Gorgeous no-look pass from Josh Holloway, but he didn't earn the assist. That'll earn an assist, and then some.
Sometimes you got to go back to basics. Arizona with the great pick and roll, and Visar with the good find. High percentage basketball.
Lead back to 16. Well, he saw it. He knew he was with a fellow big man, and Riley Allen's back. Give him credit, the sophomore. He took it right at him. This is a moment ago.
Right here, you're going to see the ball screen, the good roll, but right there, the passing big man, little shovel pass. Trey Townsend knows what to do with it. Arizona, that 4-5 combination, but right here, not Samford and Son, but Samford and one.
Oh,
I'm so talented.
Seriously, no.
It's a pleasure.
Seriously, did you practice that or
No,
did that
sir, that's just
happen?
freestyle. That's freestyle. I'm a 90s kid.
Not Samford and Son, but Samford and one. Wow.
Bars. I've got a million of them.
By the way, Riley was really good as he misses that free throw and streaks right on through with a lane violation. Allen Spock had a big game, a really big game against Kansas last year, and that near upset of Kansas in the NCAA tournament. Had 15 points as a freshman in his first ever NCAA tournament game.
We call that big paws on a puppy. A sign of things to come. Coaches love it when freshmen have those breakout games.
Love shovels it over to Lewis. Strong, and it's off the back of the iron. 5 minutes have disappeared, now 6.
Arizona kind of falling in love with that three-point shot. They've had success in the paint.
Boy, threading the needle, that was a tough look. Couldn't sneak that one through. Lucas Walls turns it over. Townsend will go to the line, dumped inside from Lewis. 14-point lead. This second half is similar to how Samford came out last year against Kansas. The second half, they actually outscored the Kansas squad 51-45, ended up losing by just 4. Townsend had 19 against West Virginia. Had just 10 with 4 turnovers against UCLA. Trey Fort's back on. What an amazing career Trey Townsend had, though, out of Oxford High School in Michigan. Horizon League Player of the Year last year at Oakland.
And he's been kind of a mystery piece to this Arizona team so far this season. Everyone knows the talent is there. They've seen the career that he's had, wondering how he's going to fit in. He's a guy that can be a double-double guy every night, especially in Big 12 play. And I think a lot of Arizona fans were expecting him to be 14 points and 10 rebounds every night. So they want to see him step up offensively. A great one-on-one player, a physical guy. Might be a little undersized, but definitely can compete.
Nice job by Allen Spock underneath, drawing the whistle. He drew Bradley out of his feet and off the floor. And to finish the thought that you're sharing about Townsend, on that resume too, as he gave up his spot right now for Carter Bryant, but on that resume too, all those points, 1,800 points, shot 50% in his whole Oakland career.
Yeah, he lives in the lane. He's a great one-on-one player. He can blow by larger, slower defenders. He's got a great outside shot. Just really a handful for a defensive matchup. He's a nightmare.
Both parents played basketball at Oakland. His brother Zach plays soccer at Oakland currently. Had a nice fall in Rochester, Michigan for the Oakland team. 64-49. A 16-8 second half for Samford.
You know, we knew this Samford team was tough and not going to go away. And 23 points, they're trying to make headway with each possession.
The big fella fights his way underneath. He'll get a chance to stand at the line and score. 5 team fouls here in the second half. Awaka makes about half his free throws. He would love to up that total, and that's a good start. Because the more minutes he plays, the more he's going to go to the line. And as we get into Big 12 play, a guy like Awaka is going to be so important.
Yeah, and Toby Awaka's worth to Arizona is going to be in those extra possessions that he wins you offensively. When that ball goes on the rim, you know, he just moves guys out of the way and wins you those extra positions. And if you can convert those into points, that can make the difference in a lot of ball games.
Right, nice job defensively, but on the other side, a whistle with a second chance at offensive rebound. They get KJ Lewis that time. And for KJ, I believe that's 3 personal fouls it is. 3 fouls on Lewis. Opportunity for Jaden Brownwell. Brownwell in the game earlier this year against Michigan State had 19 points, and 5 of his 9 rebounds were offensive in a loss to the Sparties in East Lansing. 16-point Arizona lead. Love keeps up his amazing night. We now hear from him for the first time in the second half. He's got 21.
And that's just too easy. A shooter like Caleb Love, you got to be in his jersey when he comes off that stagger screen. Defender got caught up, and it was lights out.
The St. Louis native, the McDonald's All-American, the collegiate All-American a year ago, Caleb Love, in this conference. As it said goodbye to the Pac-12, he was the final player of the year in that conference as we know it.
Watch the separation here defensively. Caleb Love gets that ball. The defender's nowhere around, and that's just shooting practice for a guy like Caleb Love. Dead center. A kiss and a point to the sky. Continuing a great night for him.
Shot with those headphones on, and the cans, as us audio folks in our industry like to call them, had the cans on. It was shooting, shut out the world. Love talking about it. Was the first one out here pre-game and just shot for about a half hour. Kind of had an edge to him, and that edge has played out as his friend. A little bit strong that time. And a second chance with 20 more seconds for the Cats. (28-16) rebound advantage and a chance at a 3-point play. Nice job for Lewis. Understandably so, on the outside looking in, hoping to be inside of the tournament. I give him credit. He could have packed it in attitude-wise. You get a second chance in a second-tier tournament. Just win it. If you're going to play in it, win it.
No doubt about it. Keep playing. A win is a win.
Yeah, they ended up closing the season with 11 wins in a row.
And that's what you want. Finish on a high note. Finish with something you can build on for the following season.
From the left hand, short, underneath. Love grabs hold of that basketball. Oh, quick call of a timeout. Love. If they would have tied him up, it would have been Arizona basketball. The Wildcats on a 7-0 run, creating a scoring drought for Samford. Trying to grab hold of this game.
Himself and his family, and you know, you talk about commitment and something that's rare nowadays when you look at the way that they've connected to Tucson and the community and the loyalty that they've exemplified, and just looking forward to another football season having him at the helm. And he's right, having the opportunity to write some opportunities and play more football, looking forward to it.
He gets it to Tobe Awaka underneath, who looks like he could play on that football field with Noah. Built like it. So I must ask you, as Samford would love to fight their way back in again, if you're Tommy Lloyd, what are you looking at right now for your team?
Well, right now, if you're Tommy Lloyd, you got to reset everything. It's 0-0, and plays like that, getting reverse dunked on, that's unacceptable. You want to see your starters playing at the same level that they tipped off the game at. And I know that that sounds crazy, but if you want to get where you need to go, you need guys to stay focused and continue to build on the lead. Right now, the lead is 20, and I can guarantee the Arizona staff wants more out of their guys.
Well, the dangerous thing about that number of 20 is you're hitting, to use a baseball comparison, grand slams when you shoot threes every time. I mean, all of a sudden, 3 quick threes with a pair of turnovers takes that 20 down to 10, just like that.
You're playing against a team that can get hot from beyond the arc. They're a little winded because this is a team that presses all game. We talk about Samford. So you've got to be aware. You got to be aware and guard the three-point line. But for Arizona, stick to the script. Defend, rebound, play inside. You're building for something. Yes, Samford is the opponent tonight, but keep in mind what the overall goal is, to play and prepare for Big 12 conference play. You don't want lapses. You're 9 games in, 10 games in. Consistency is what you want.
Love sits, and he does so with 21 points. Lewis, meantime, at the line. Del Orso, by the way, stepping in there for Love. Bryant in there as well now. Bryant with 4 points, 3 rebounds. 73-51. They'll try and knock down some more threes. Samford team 22 3-point attempts, only +5 over Arizona. So that's not as dramatic as you would think. Here's another, and it's redirected. Bryant with a great defensive effort, but then it's turned over, allowing another chance, and they cash in. Trey Ford with 3.
Miscommunication right there. Carter Bryant made a great play, got a piece of the ball, and wasn't looking for the outlet pass, and that was the turnover that led to the 3.
There's that pressure again, right up on him. Josh Holloway, I should say. Bradley says, I've got it.
Barely.
And
handle looking kind of shaky out there.
Through. He was reminded there are 4 other teammates awaiting him. Tried to slip that one through, knocked out of bounds. Turnover, Arizona. Basar, Townsend. Noble say hello to the game. The freshman sits down, as does Awaka. Take a peek at Henry Vasar. We tell you he's got 4 points in 10 minutes. He does have 5 rebounds. That'll frustrate you because for Lewis, that's 4 now. Couple of free throws, that's 7 team fouls as well at the 8:55 mark. Love didn't get to sit for long.
You know, you watch this Arizona team play and you try to read between the lines. They've gone 10 deep tonight, and you wonder, is that something they'll be able to continue to do? And you think, this is an Arizona team that you're going to have to go 10 deep, as physical as the Big 12 is. And can they stay effective playing 9 or 10 players every night? I think they can. It's the kind of team that I think they've got 8 or 9 guys that can get you 8 or 9 points every night.
Couple of free throws dropped in. We hear a little bit more from Rylan Jones in the second half. 1,000-point college score. Now that man knows, Lucky McMillan, he's going to need Rylan for about 15 plus 6-7 assists against teams like Arizona. The 17-point Cats lead, under 9. Boy, is 10 too many if you're going to play 10 deep?
No, if guys come in focused and they know what their role is, 10 is the perfect number, because 10 wears you down if you're the opposition. You can't stop 10 guys. You can stop 7 guys, but you can't stop 10 guys. 10 guys that know they're going to play and they know they're going to contribute, yeah, good luck beating 10 guys.
Interesting thing, Conrad Martinez has earned some of those minutes. We saw him briefly in the first half for a couple of minutes. He's climbed up that depth chart. His assist percentage in lesser playing time is #1 on this team. So when he goes into the game, his minutes, again, limited, really matter. So he could be that number 10 man, and he's a big energy player.
Yeah, I'd be begging for Conrad. He's the assist guy. Get him out here. He's going to pass.
I love the question you asked, TJ. Who needed the most frosting on their cake when you were the point guard? I love that question.
We have the Ring of Honor at Arizona. We need the Ring of Crybabies because I'll get on the phone. We'll have that thing filled in about 15 minutes. I know who they all are.
Jaden Bradley with a bucket. Vasar with the swat. We'll show you some of the pictures when we come back. That was a lot of fun to be a part of.
No question about it. TJ McConnell answered the call at a time when the Pac-12 was loaded with high-profile point guards, and he served them up night in and night out, and that's why the Arizona fans love and remember him. He faced off against great players, and he had some thrilling moments. He played alongside of great players that were going to the NBA, but he made a name for himself as one of the toughest, grittiest point guards in Arizona history, and to this day, he's beloved in Tucson, and rightfully so.
If you go check out TJ McConnell's Instagram, he did a self-video. Looked like he was out on the road with his Pacers team talking about this night. And he said, and I quote, "I wouldn't be where I am without this place." This place, of course, being Arizona and Tucson. He's a guy, too, that has gone to the league twice. He has been in that race for Sixth Man of the Year. Just like he did as a college basketball player. He takes care of the basketball, doesn't turn it over, amongst the best in the game.
You know, the Arizona basketball program is one of the programs where if you come in and you really give yourself to the program, there's no limit to what you can achieve. The community supports you, the coaching staff, and it really allows you to become the best player you can. And I know a lot of programs say that that's a possibility, but literally from the alums to the coaches to the tradition to the community, you get that support and you can realize your dreams here. And TJ McConnell, an NBA player making a lot of money, looking good, living a great life, and who'd have thunk it? He deserves everything that's come his way.
I love this advice for you young athletes out there. Don't ever think that you can't do it. Don't ever listen to those that tell you you can't. Now, along with that advice, he made it clear you better be willing to work.
Got to be willing to work. Sean Miller, a great coach that put the ball in his hand and demanded a lot of TJ, probably more than TJ thought he had in the tank. And I think he will be the first to tell you Coach Miller put him in a position to succeed, gave him confidence.
That would give me confidence as well. Caleb Love having a huge night. He's got 23 now. They're coming right back with a triple. Lid on the bucket. Townsend defensive rebound. Going for it again. That one's picked off. One more time. This time Lucas, I should say, with the three, the Knoxville, Tennessee native.
They shoot them like layups. I mean, it's what they do.
Oh boy, you don't like to see this. Del Orso goes down, grabs down below the knee around the ankle area. Let's see what happened here.
Well, nothing really happened. Del Orso wants a foul, and when he doesn't get it, the official blows his whistle and stops play. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's like you try to do the FIFA soccer thing and nothing happens, and you get the ball back? That's crazy.
We'll give Rylan Jones credit. We know how crafty he is. He's kind of a do-everything guy. He did use his shin as a defensive weapon that time. A little bit too high, and that's very high for going over the head of a 7-footer. There's the aforementioned Jones, bringing it up. Jones in the second half, heating up a little bit. He's got 5 assists on the game, 5 rebounds too. He's looking for another assist. Not that time though. Caleb, rebound number 5. Look at Rylan Jones somehow keeping it inbounds. And does not earn an assist yet again.
Tommy Lloyd up, trying to get his guys back into their offensive set. It's so easy to get sucked into that rec league style of play with 20-point lead with a few minutes left in the game. And you want your guys to stay sharp. Hey guys, we're working on stuff. Let's stay clean, play good basketball.
Those last couple of minutes, not an instructional video. Last 2 minutes, Arizona with 4 turnovers in the last 1:42. On the other side, Samford, 1 of their last 9 from the floor.
Well, the one thing I remember, and it hasn't changed with Tommy Lloyd, even though I played in a different era, always put good stuff on tape. You don't want to be at films tomorrow having to explain yourself. So no matter what the score is, play good basketball.
Says the man who played in 109 games as a Cat, Corey.
They watch everything down to the final second. So even regardless of the score, like right there, one-handed passes and turnovers, don't put that on tape.
You're not going to win that battle with Owaka. Try to jump in there, take it away. Holloway will earn the foul that time. And for Holloway, I believe that is 5. He is fouled out of this game. 8 points, 4 rebounds, and he heads to the bench. Coming up, Central Michigan, then it's time to go to work in conference play. TCU first, then it's on the road, Cincinnati, West Virginia. Welcome to Big 12 play for the first time ever, Arizona. TCU off to a 6-4 start this year, 90 in the net.
I'll be here for that game against TCU, a well-coached team, very physical, known for that defense. What a way to tip off Big 12 basketball here in Tucson.
Owaka, the son of Henrietta and Sonny. Went to Cardinal Hayes in the Bronx. Was New York's Gatorade Player of the Year back in 2022. That's a large state, folks. A lot of basketball players, and to be the very best is something special. Doing things like that. Turned it over, though, after the defensive rebound and a quick bucket for Walls.
You jinxed them.
Do you believe in the jinx?
Started talking him up, Gatorade Player of the State, New York, and he gets a rebound and turns it over for 2.
Yeah, I don't believe in the jinx, though.
But it just happened.
But I don't believe in it. It's just words. And he was like 40, 50 feet away.
Little quick putback right there. Samford staying active. We talked about them shooting the 3 tonight. It has been hit or miss for them.
Houston and Oklahoma State, both winners tonight. Oklahoma State a much closer contest, just winning by a few against Tarleton State. Upcoming schedule, they'll jump into the SoCon. That's their conference. They're going to have a target on their back after what they did last year.
Samford hoisted up 34 threes so far this evening. Only connected on 12. But we knew that coming in. The question is, were they going to go 20 of 34 and we'd be in a totally different situation right now? Or
Bad.
But Arizona's done a good job of maintaining dominance in the paint, the layups, the and ones, the putbacks, and a lot of people will tell you analytically you don't want to trade 2s for 3s, but at the end of the day, the percentages win out. You know, if you're getting dunks and layups over a 40-minute game, you're going to come out on top.
And they want to sprint. You talked about it earlier. Their final 4:30. They've got 6 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes, and not a single field goal in that same time. That's the Wildcats.
Well, the one thing you can't do, you can't be afraid to eat. When you have a team that wants to speed you up, and as soon as you get over half court, you shut everything down and play scared, then you're living in the danger zone. So you've got to go ahead and be aggressive, especially when a team is trying to force the tempo. You got to be okay with playing fast sometimes. The great John Wooden used to say, be quick, but don't hurry.
Oh, that's exactly right. And that's how they played so much in the first half. Nice follow, by the way, by Lewis underneath. The Waka cleared things up just a bit. They want to sprint to the finish line and move their record to 5-5.
Half the game, and that's what you want. You want to be able to get everybody out there, but productivity with the minutes. You don't want Guys just out there taking up space. Trey Townsend been extremely productive with the minutes he's played tonight. And it makes all the difference in the world to this Arizona ball club.
They've shared the basketball with extreme efficiency too. Again, they're not as sharp right now in these last couple of minutes. That one's turned over. But when you look at their 27 field goals, the Arizona Wildcats, 19 of them have been assisted.
That tells you the story right there. Opportunities, guys making plays, creating an advantage, and then giving the ball up. And you see that translate to higher percentage baskets. Everybody's not fighting for stuff one-on-one. Somebody's creating action, creating an open shot for somebody else.
Arizona on the year, 29.9 field goal makes the game, 15.4 assisted upon, just over 50%. Samford stronger in that category coming in. The closer you can take your assists to your field goals, the more efficient you are playing basketball.
You shoot 54% from the floor, you're going to win most games. Now, 25% from beyond the arc, that's not too good. But 54% from two, that's going to win you some basketball games. Arizona definitely playing much better tonight.
It's my guy Townsend, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. Right there. He did it again. Blue collar, Michigan man. 14 points, 7 boards. Chasing 2,000 in his career. Josh Holloway at the line. Looking for first points. A post-game meal tastes a lot better if you've got something on the stat sheet, but he might not, so we'll see.
That wasn't a jinx. You didn't jinx him right there.
That was, to use your theory, the reverse jinx. Beautiful connection underneath. Henry, oh, Henry. Now he swats at Vasar back the other way. Lewis, boy, hit pretty hard. He goes down hard under the basket. Will hop up and go to the line.
Well, there's no mystery right here. Put it up by the rim. Let the 7-footer take it down. Pretty basic. Great vision and the finish. Visar taking advantage. And right here, good defensive anticipation leads to the leak out. Little rim protection there, too. Both ends of the floor. Coaches got to love that.
Right at the 2:30 mark. A night in which Lewis now has 10 points. Conrad Martinez will find his way in. And Emmanuel Steffen will see the hardwood for the first time outside of an exhibition. This could be a sign of things to come as you keep an eye on Motievas Krivas and how soon he's able to return. Steffen from Nigeria, a physical presence. A work in progress, but a big energy player.
They talk about his development. Definitely has the tools to become a great player. But getting him some experience, his presence in the paint, can he defend, can he rebound, can he give them a defensive presence? Because if you can get an extra body that big in Big 12 play, that's going to be huge.
You love seeing these moments. Played for the NBA Academy in Africa, basketball without borders. So he's seen big moments, yet I guarantee you his heart's pounding through that jersey right now.
Talk about a young man who's excited to play. Everybody talks about his attitude, his mentality. He's got a great spirit. He's kind of a playful guy, but clearly a competitor, learning the game, getting better every day.
Just grabbed his first college rebound. Martinez. He didn't mean to, but he did. Oh, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
That's a great bucket. For a first bucket, that's a great first bucket.
He lost its handle, but tipped it high enough in the air that it found a home. Pulled himself back nicely there. Just like he designed it, right?
There it is. Off the glass. Great anticipation. He wanted to dunk it, but hey, we'll take it. The confidence from the team to hook him up with the lob. They knew where to put it.
Do it, Emmanuel, do it. 7-footer. He's just bouncing around. He's looking at his teammates, energy everywhere. Played his AAU for Paul George Elite. Played with Carter Bryant AAU. It's a big, big night. Love sits down with 23 points. Stephen played his senior year up in Phoenix at Dream City Christian.
True freshman.
Stephen recently had an Instagram post that said, and I quote, "You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for."
I love it.
That one turned over. Martinez gave it back the other way. And now his first college foul.
Second foul.
That's right, his second. They came quickly. He's going to hand those out by the bushelful until he gets more comfortable.
Well, the one thing about playing time and experience is you get to learn the rhythm of the game, and with his size and his wingspan, he's going to learn how to be a defender and block shots and have a presence without committing fouls. That takes years for big men to master that timing, how to stay on the floor, how to have an impact, how to alter the game without committing fouls.
Rylan Jones turned to his right, and they both exchanged a smile as Rylan welcomed him to the floor. Jones, a man who's played in 135 college games.
Tell him, calm down, big fella. You got 2 fouls in 30 seconds.
Liam Lloyd gets the call. The fifth-year player who did great things at Northern Arizona and at GCU, playing his 5th year here in Arizona. And a chance to play for Dad.
See if Arizona can handle this pressure and finish at the rim, or do they just back it out and run the offense? A little 2-3 zone here from Samford. Want to get the ball to the high post or try to get it on the baseline. There's the high post.
Bryant, one more pass to Del Orso. The triple for the Australian.
Textbook execution by the Wildcats.
Anthony's got 11 points. Nice job defensively underneath for Stephen. Addison Arnold's going to come on. Manaw is going to come on. If the clock is in their favor. Anthony again. Hello! Finishing strong. Del Orso, 14. Will Kuykendall's going to get a call to come in too. Scout team getting a chance to play. These are fun moments.
Well, it's also fun moments because I'm not sure if it's taco time. I don't know what's going on if they hit 100, but I see the student body is sitting here looking at the score, and I think there's some kind of promotion going on. I'm not certain, don't quote me, but they look hungry.
So Corey making it clear that if you can find him after the game tonight or anytime tomorrow, he'll buy you lunch. You got to find him though first, right?
Do not put me in that.
No? Okay.
You know, you will be sadly disappointed.
96-64. They will improve to 5-5 on the year. Get back on track. We got one more coming up Saturday afternoon against Central Michigan. Then it's go time in the Big 12. A 6-0 run closes this game. Tommy Lloyd's team handles Bucky McMillan's team from the SoCon, and it's a victory for the Arizona Wildcats.